When the sun sets in Havana, Cuba, the city doesn't bid farewell to the day, it simply transforms. Havana at night is an explosion of energy, rhythm, and freedom. While the historic streets still carry the echoes of the past, the night brings with it a unique vibe where every corner seems like an invitation to live without limits. Here, pleasure isn't in a rush. It happens spontaneously, flowing through the streets, bars, and dance floors. If you think Havana is only about its monuments and paradisical beaches, you're in for a surprise. The city's nightlife is endless, a perfect blend of traditional Cuban charm and the pulsating modern rhythm. The bars bubble with rum, salsa music, and conversations filled with heat and passion. And the women of Havana? They are authentic, with a confidence that makes the night shine even brighter. They take charge of the scene, becoming the protagonists in a city where the fun never has a set time to end. Want to know what it's like to live the Cuban night? Stick with us and come discover the most eccentric, vibrant, and carefree side of Havana, where the city never slows down and pleasure is always waiting for you. Walking through the streets of Havana, you feel as though you've traveled through time. The colonial houses with their facades weathered by history, the narrow streets, and the old buildings tell stories of a glorious past. But what truly surprises you is how the city retains its vitality at night. As the sun sets, Havana comes to life, and the historic streets become a stage for endless celebration. In places like central Havana, the local bars and plazas transform into meeting spots for both locals and tourists. The aroma of Cuban rum and tobacco mixes with the sound of salsa and reggaeton echoing from every corner. Every corner has a story to tell, and at the same time, it's impossible not to get lost in the contagious energy of those who live the city in a carefree, intense way. The night in Havana is not limited to its bars and clubs, but spills out into the busy streets with street musicians, local artists, and even spontaneous dancers bringing life to every corner and square. It feels like being in a place where history and the present merge, and where fun is never forced. No matter where you are in the city, the rhythm of Havana wraps you up, and you realize that every step is a new discovery in Cuban nightlife. In every street, there's a unique charm that only Havana can offer. It's as if the city has the ability to invite you to dance, mingle, and get lost in its colors, sounds, and rhythms. Here, the past and present meet, and the city lives for the now, for fun, and for the pleasure of those willing to experience it without haste. La Habana Vieja, the historic center of Havana, is where the past and present meet in a magical way. During the day, the neighborhood takes pride in its colonial architecture, with cobblestone streets, historic squares, and colonial buildings that seem to tell the story of Cuba with every stone. But when night falls, La Habana Vieja transforms into a pulsating hub of life, where the rhythms of salsa, son cubano, and jazz take over every corner. As the lights come on, the neighborhood takes on new energy. Bars and restaurants begin to fill, and the sound of live music spreads through the streets. Iconic spots like La Bodeguita del Medio, famous for its history with Ernest Hemingway, continue to be meeting points for people looking for an authentic Cuban experience. There, rum is served generously, conversations flow easily, and bodies move to the rhythm of the music, as if Havana were one big party that never ends. But what makes La Habana Vieja so special is how it preserves its authenticity. No matter the hour, you'll always find something fascinating, whether it's a street musician playing his trumpet in a quiet square, or a group of Cuban dancers moving with an energy that feels like it's come out of a movie. The lit-up streets create an atmosphere of mystery and charm, inviting everyone to explore them, get lost in the magic, and experience Havana in a more intimate way. The energy of La Habana Vieja is contagious, and walking through its streets, you feel that it's impossible not to get involved with the city's vibe. The squares and bars become stages for an endless celebration, where music, dance, and conversations dominate the night. La Habana Vieja is not just the historical heart of Havana, but also the living center of the city, which never slows down, always vibrant, and always ready for a party. The Malecón in Havana is undoubtedly one of the city's most iconic spots. During the day, its long seaside avenues offer stunning ocean views, but at night, the Malecón transforms into one of the most vibrant and energetic locations in Havana. Here, the sea waves gently crash against the rocks, and the fresh breeze brings a sense of freedom and tranquility, contrasting with the electric energy that fills the space. As the sun sets, the Malecón comes to life with a crowd of locals and tourists, all in search of fun, conversation, and the famous Cuban culture. Walking along the seafront, it's easy to get swept up in the laid-back energy of spontaneous encounters. Groups of friends gather, street musicians play their melodies, and couples sit to watch the sea as the city lights twinkle in the background. The Malecón becomes a place of connection where everyone gathers to celebrate life. But what really makes the Malecón special is how it becomes a place where the city and the sea meet in perfect harmony. The sound of the waves blends with the rhythm of Cuban music echoing nearby, creating a unique vibe. Whether for a rum, a spontaneous salsa dance, or simply to appreciate the beauty of the moment, the Malecón is the heart of Havana at night, the true shot of Cuban energy. This is a place where conversations flow without hurry, where encounters are carefree, and where you can lose yourself in the magic of the Cuban night. The Malecón is the perfect place for those who seek the true essence of Havana, a mix of seaside relaxation and the vibrant energy of a city that never stops celebrating life. The night on the Malecón is the personification of the Cuban spirit. No rush, no limits, and always with a touch of contagious joy. In Havana, women don't just participate in the nightlife, they define it. The energy of Havana at night wouldn't be the same without the magnetic and authentic presence of Cuban women. They are an essential part of the vibe that permeates the streets, bars, and clubs of the city. No matter their age or background, the women of Havana exude an unmistakable confidence that shows in the way they walk, dance, and interact with the world around them. The energy of Cuban women is unique. They carry a silent strength that is both welcoming and captivating. On every corner, in every bar or square, it's impossible not to notice how they dominate the night. Confidence is the word that defines them. They don't need a stage to shine. They make any place their own space of expression. Whether on the stage of a lively salsa, at the counter of a busy bar, or in the softness of a conversation in the illuminated streets, they own the moment. What makes the women of Havana so captivating is that their presence is natural, effortless, as if every movement is a reflection of their true essence. There is no rush in their way of living the night. They are uncomplicated, with the ability to surrender to the pleasure of music, dance, and meeting others, always with a grace that is distinctly Cuban. In clubs like the Tropicana or the lively streets of central Havana, Cuban women stand out not just for their beauty, but for the authenticity with which they live their lives. They are always open to new experiences, to connection, to real encounters. Here, the night is never just about what's happening in the moment, but about personal expression and the freedom to live in the now. These women, with their unmistakable beauty and natural charisma, are the true protagonists of Havana's nightlife. They carry the city in their gaze and smile, making every moment an unforgettable memory. If you want to understand the true energy of Havana, just look at them, full of authenticity, confidence, and a unique radiance that lights up every street of the city. When night falls in Havana, the city transforms into a stage of continuous celebration, and music is the soul of that transformation. Cuban salsa, with its quick steps and infectious rhythms, takes over the atmosphere. Every street, bar, and club fills with contagious sounds that not only echo through the walls, but also pulse in the veins of those who are present. It doesn't matter if you know how to dance or not. The music of Havana invites you to surrender, to lose yourself in the beat, to feel every movement. Local bars and salsa clubs become the epicenter of Cuban fun, where the nights stretch on and the stars seem to shine brighter. Cuban rum is served generously as bodies move to the rhythm of the music. In places like Las Lora y El Cuervo, where live music dominates the scene, Cuban jazz blends with the classics of son cubano, creating a unique atmosphere where the past and present meet in a sensational dance. But what makes the music in Havana truly unique is that it's not confined to the clubs. It spills out onto the streets, where street musicians play maracas, trombones, and guitars with an intoxicating energy. On every corner, you can find a group of dancers improvising salsa moves, showing that the party never ends. It spreads through the streets of Havana like a wave of energy, infecting everyone who crosses its path. Rum, music, and dance are the Cuban formula for limitless fun. There's no rush, no rules, just the freedom to surrender to the night, to the sound of Caribbean rhythms, and to the company of people willing to celebrate the now. The party in Havana never ends. It's a continuous flow of music and dance that blends with the city's essence, making every night an unforgettable experience. In Havana, music is the universal language that unites everyone. And as you get lost in the illuminated streets, you realize that the true Cuban party isn't just in the clubs, it's in every note of salsa and every sip of rum you savor. The night in Havana is a party that never ends, because here, fun is a way of life. When you finally leave Havana, what stays with you won't just be the warmth of the night or the vibrant energy of the streets, but something much deeper: the legacy of a city where freedom, pleasure, and authenticity meet at every corner. The Cuban night is not something you just witness. It's something you live, feel, and breathe. And when you say goodbye, you take a piece of Havana with you that can never be erased. The contagious energy of the streets, the taste of Cuban rum, and the rhythm of salsa are not just moments of fun. They are transformative experiences. In Havana, every glance, every dance move, and every laugh shared at midnight has the power to leave a lasting impression. The city challenges you to live without haste, to surrender to the present, and to celebrate every second, knowing that in Havana, tomorrow begins with a new opportunity to explore the night. And the women of Havana, with their unique energy and confidence, leave an even deeper mark. They are the protagonists of this story, the soul of a city that never sleeps. Their glow lights up the night in a way that only a city like Havana could allow. They bring life to every conversation, every spontaneous encounter, and make the city even more fascinating. In the end, Havana is not just a city to visit, but an experience to live. And as you walk through its streets and lose yourself in its music, you realize that no matter how much time you spend here, the magic of Havana's night will stay with you, always inviting you to return, to live more, to celebrate the freedom and authenticity that define this unforgettable city. Havana is a city that reinvents itself every night, always ready to give you one more reason to never forget it. When the night ends, the feeling is that, somehow, it never really did.